Hello, everybody. This is Murray back with you on this latest podcast of our renamed and new named Local Ludell.
Ooh, did you practice that?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
So we're here with Michelle that finally showed up for a podcast.
I'm back.
And we're going to go on with it. We're not going to have obituaries this week, so thank God.
We have one.
There wasn't any. Which one?
This one.
Oh, that shelter?
Yes, in
Okay,
Yoakum.
go ahead.
In Yoakum, Mr. Elmer Hanna, Elmer Lloyd Hanna, age 87, passed away January the 12th.
All right, condolences to his family and his friends, and I think that was all, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a good
Just
week.
one, yeah. Okay, well, Michelle, tell us the reason why you wasn't able to make it here last week.
They told me I got the flu.
Oh, no.
Yes, and it was awful, and I felt terrible. Not only for missing the podcast, I literally felt terrible.
Oh, but
I am doing better. I apologize. I still have a lingering cough, so you may hear that a little bit. But I am rocking and rolling today.
all right. Well, I'm going to tell you folks one thing. You may hear some noises.
Now it won't make it.
That's my chair. And I had mentioned in the last podcast that somebody told me that he heard that sound and he thought somebody on this podcast farted.
He didn't think someone. He thought Murray.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
Because I was here by myself, maybe so.
Sure. Okay.
But anyway, let me put you all, your mind to rest. There were no farting on this podcast. And there will be no farting on this podcast, because if there ever is any farting on this podcast, I'll take it out when I edit the podcast. Oh, there it was. Now.
That was well timed.
Now then, Michelle was sick. You know, the week before that, Murray was so sick that he couldn't hear. You remember that?
Yes, but now you can hear again.
Yeah. Well,
right?
Let me tell you the old man cure for what Murray had.
Okay.
Here's what you do. Now, my ears were plugged. I couldn't hear anything, and it was terrible. But here's the old man cure. Vitamin C every day, whether you're sick or not. Vitamin D every 3 days, whether you're sick or not. That will prevent it. And then if you happen to catch it, start doing that. The vitamin C, you don't have to worry about it building up in your body. It'll just naturally go away. So you can take a lot of it. Now the vitamin D, my doctor says, don't take one every day, but spread it out at least twice a week. Okay? So that's a
lot to remember.
That's the latest medical information from Murray and Michelle on the local lowdown podcast. Okay, Michelle, tell me what you wanted to tell me last week and you didn't do it.
Well, I always want to tell you lots of stuff, but I like to start with a joke. So are you ready for it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Why do cows have bells?
You got me on that one.
Because their horns don't work. So good. Now, if you've ever been to our office during the day, you may just walk in, pay a bill, renew your subscription. Who knows? You may just want to come tell us hello. You may often hear this sound. And that is Murray buzzing someone in the office, meaning that they're lying.
Yeah.
Chuck also has a buzzer. I have put a buzzer on my computer, but mine is super loud, so I don't use it very often. And no one lies around me.
Well, we've got one that spends a lot of time lying around me, but I won't mention his name. So, what else you got?
So I guess I was going to talk about the Miss Hallettsville pageant happening last week, but unfortunately I had to miss it, and I was really sad because everyone knows how much I think pageants are amazing and what they do once you win that title, the lessons learned. So I would like to congratulate Ms. Peyton Posek on her new reign as Miss Hallettsville and the rest of her court. We do want to apologize. Peyton is the daughter of Chad and Lauren Cossack, and also, which was left out, and I'm very sorry, Gavin and Brittany Yashek. So, congratulations to her and to both those sets of parents. I am excited for you, and I hope you all have a great year. So that was definitely a big thing that happened last Saturday in Hallettsville.
And we had the state championship domino title. Can you read those names?
Oh, man. Kevin Tesh and Gary Fuller.
I believe Mr. Tesh is from Moulton because I have him in on the front page in our Moulton paper, this same article. So, congratulations to them. I used to know how to play dominoes. I don't anymore. But
I don't think that's something you forget.
Oh, yeah, you do at a certain period of time.
Okay.
And go ahead. I'll let you go ahead with this.
What do you want me to say next? Oh, my, oh, my. So I guess we're going to go a little bit more through the papers. I do want to point out that it's not in our papers yet, but there has been some car burglaries. And so you guys, the best way to make sure that you are doing your part, one is to keep your eyes open. And two is to lock your car door and don't you leave valuables in it.
That's
Which
exactly
I'm not
right.
going to say that someone in this room doesn't lock their car doors, but someone in this room doesn't. And that person's going to get better at it.
That's good. What do you got there about our little buddy Henry Joe Yashik?
Well, Henry has a trivia question. It may have been new last week. I'm not sure since I missed it. But what famous sculpture was dedicated in downtown San Antonio on June 27th, 2002?
I don't really know the answer to that, but
I don't either, but downtown San Antonio is beautiful. So.
I know that Henry Joe will share that answer with you at some point. What else you got?
We got some meeting notices going on. Those are always published in our paper, so make sure that you check those out.
Okay.
And
There's Hofers. You want to talk about Hofers?
I do want to talk about Hofers, but before that, did you notice that there was a truck in Joe's Fried Chicken?
Yeah.
So the old Joe's Fried Chicken had a truck go through it. That's in our paper, which, that's exciting. And Hofers. But before we can talk about Hofers, I have to tell you something.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So in Chuck's column, we haven't got to sports yet, but he talks about Nick Saban. And Nick Saban said, if you want to make everyone happy, don't be a leader, sell ice cream.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, whatever Nick Saban says, it's got to be right. Football is going to be, college football is going to be much the lesser since this man retired. I love him, and I hope he comes back. But with all the money he's got, he'll never have to work again a day in his life.
Right. And but I bet he really hasn't worked. I think he really loves the sport, and he loves all he has done. And thankfully, we've got to watch a great career unfold with him. But you know who does sell ice cream, right?
I know who eats a lot of it.
I do too, and he also works at this wonderful place.
Henry Joe Yashik.
Hofers is a great advertiser. They advertise weekly in our Hallettsville paper, and this week they have Bluebell ice cream on sale. And so I did a little research, and Bluebell is, of course, a Texas company, and it's been around for over 117 years.
Oh, my.
That's a long time. What's your favorite flavor, Murray?
Well, I like that banana pudding.
Really?
Yeah, I love that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like cookies and cream. It's probably my favorite.
Well, what have they got on sale? Just ice cream or
Ice cream, some pimento cheese. We got some macaroni and cheese. And they always got their beer specials at the bottom. And Henry told me this week that some people load up a whole cart.
Oh, my. I didn't think we had anybody that drank beer in Lavaca County.
probably
I
not.
guess I was wrong about that. What else you got? You got a big buck contest there. Did you see that?
Oh, we do. And a wild game supper.
Oh,
A little tidbit is I'm not real familiar with all of this yet. It's still going only on my second year of working here. And so when I was trying to tell Ani about this ad running, and I didn't have it in front of me because, we had this big freeze, Murray. So we all had to work kind of remotely.
Yeah.
I told her, the wild horse food thing.
Oh, no.
But I don't think there's going to be any horses
I
eating
hope
here.
not, you know.
So, but it is wild game, and there's a lot listed: crawfish, deer, duck, hog, birds, chili, sausage, duck gumbo,
All right.
beans, wild rice, and more. And that's going to be Saturday, January 27th.
Okay, I guess we got the livestock show coming up.
Yes,
right?
so this weekend is the livestock show here in Hallettsville, and also in our sister paper in Luling. So Luling is also having their livestock show. So if you're in either one of those places, it's a great time to go support these kids who have worked very hard. And we thank all the advertisers in this week's Hallettsville edition. And we will also have congratulatory ads in next week's Hallettsville and next week Luling. So if you'd like to put an ad in, you can call our office and we'll get you in.
Well, you know, speaking of Luling, I really enjoyed that Zoom call we had with Nicole over there this morning.
Yes.
And we got to talk to her a little bit. I've never met her, but
You have now.
I have now. Yeah, and hopefully maybe someday we can all get together in person. Maybe go over there and eat at that barbecue place. What's the name of it?
City Market.
Luling Barbecue City Market.
I think it's City Market.
Oh man, they got some great stuff over there. That's for sure. Okay, so I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead on.
It's okay. We're scrolling on through, and we're done, I think. We do have a new advertiser that's looking for dead post oak and unwanted mesquite. Sorry, gosh.
Yeah.
Anyway, dang. And so if you have any of what they're looking for, give them a call. It says free.
All right.
Free is a good word.
Yes, it is. Well, it's time to move.
Let's go.
We're headed on over to the Shiner Gazette, and this is Michelle's hometown, so we'll let her talk about her hometown paper.
And President Joe Biden is on the front page.
Joe Biden?
That's not Joe Biden.
No.
That is Bill Bradfield. I really think he looked like Joe Biden. I'm sorry. Mark Luby pointed it out as well, and I can't get it out of my head. But Mr. Bill Bradfield is not Joe Biden, but he is a great staple in the community of Shiner, and he was honored with his longtime Rotary membership. And that display is at the museum in Shiner. They have a whole building donated to Rotary and what all they do.
All right. Well,
you see it too now, Murray, don't you?
No, I'm not going to say anything, because if I get political, we'll be in here all day long. But go ahead on.
Okay. And what else is going on? We had a council meeting, so it talks about that. And we're scrolling and more about the Big Buck contest. There's this great ad for the local lowdown, which you're getting to listen to right now. Yeah. Check out your sports, guys. Basketball is in full swing for all the schools.
Yeah, we'll thank Mr. Mark Luby for putting that together.
Mark Lube does a great job. We're trying to get his name right, guys. And Gonzalez Healthcare. Gonzalez Healthcare is a huge advertiser with us, and we appreciate all that they do. The right care right here in our local communities. And I can't say enough. A lot of times people are like, oh, well, you have to go to the big city for big care. When I was sick last week, I got in within an hour to the doctor. That is an amazing thing. If I lived in a bigger town, I don't think that would happen.
Well, where did you go to?
I went to the Wagner Clinic, but I actually went to the one in Moulton, and I saw the PA, Kirsten, and thank you, Kirsten. I do feel a little bit better, and she gave me medicine and got me in and out and off to try to feel better. So.
Well, that's great. At least you were able to make one podcast.
Right.
Maybe we'll try for two.
That would be a record.
Yes, it would. Uh-oh.
And then also thanks to Pawtex. Pawtex, kind of a spoiler, is going to be Shiner Chamber of Commerce's Business of the Season, and we're going to honor them on Saturday. So look for that in the upcoming week's paper, but it's a well-deserved honor. They've been in business for 85 years, and they also put in ads weekly, so you're able to see what they have on sale and what you can go buy. And there's nothing better than fresh meat from a fresh meat market.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of places you can get that around here.
It looks like they have a whole lot of specials going on over there, too. And at this day and time, with all the inflation going on, we appreciate these advertisers that have these good deals for folks, especially on groceries, because those are out of sight. But anyway, thanks to podcasts, we certainly podcast.
You all right, man? Hold your hands up.
No, thanks to them for their advertising, and we certainly appreciate it.
We're going to go to Yoakum.
All right, looky there. There looks like they had a big freeze over there.
They did. Were you cold?
Yeah, I was cold. I was really cold. You know, when you get older, it's really, the cold is a lot rougher on you than the heat, because I could lay out on the beach and it could be 120 degrees and I'd be happy. But you put me in my house and my heaters aren't working and it's 50 degrees, I'm about ready to go to the emergency room.
Well, that was no good. What is the lowest we got? You think 17, 14?
18 was the lowest that I saw, and it may have got lower than that.
But it felt like 0.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, it lasted so long. You know,
Yeah.
What was it? 3 days we had of it.
3 long, long days.
Yeah, well, thank God that's over with. Now all we need is a little bit of rain.
Yes, we
Right.
do. I
What else
guess.
you got there for
What
you?
about your pipes, Murray?
My pipes thawed out, and I couldn't find any leaks.
So it's a miracle. But I was telling Murray that the best thing I learned is that there's a cheap way to cover your faucets, and that is to buy styrofoam cups. So when you go get your drink, like I do every morning at B's, save those cups. Whataburger has them. Hofer's has them. Fishbeck's in Moulton has them. Buy a drink, cover your pipe with that cup, 2 for 1.
What about if the wind blows the
We'll
cup?
use duct tape.
Oh, okay.
Gosh,
Okay.
Murray.
Well, I tell you what, I have never before been caught in all my years on this earth of having any pipes freeze, because I start real early, having the outside faucets running, and then the inside faucets, I'll have them dripping. But this time, it snuck up on me. I already had the outside ones going, and I took a shower, had plenty of water, and sat down for 2 hours. And in that 2 hours' time, the cold water froze solid in my pipes. And thank God that when they thawed out, we didn't have any leaks. But that will not happen to me again.
It's a good day at the Montgomery house.
Yeah, well, styrofoam cups or no, that'll never happen again.
I'm going to buy him some. So in Yoakum, they already had their stock show, and that is a good-looking cow, market steer,
Yeah.
to be exact. But can you believe that little boy? No, little girl. Sorry. Who is this? Oh, he's not the winner. Olivia Wenzel is pictured with her Grand Champion Series. So that must be her brother or someone, right? Who is it, Murray?
No, I was just showing you how you could. You got a plus and a minus there, and you
Look at that.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I'm not sure, but I would say Olivia's baby brother, who is cute as a button, is holding that Grand Champion flag in the middle. And congrats to Ms. Olivia. You barely could see her over the cow. Her head is just sticking out.
Well, yeah, congratulations.
And there are more winners inside as well. So
those kiddos work real hard with those animals, and
did you raise an animal, Murray?
no,
Me neither.
I didn't do nothing but raise a lot of hell when I was young, but
Sure
I've
thing.
got out of that.
Sure thing. He still does. And we talked about the obituaries. We also have more sports. Mark Luby and Raymond Rosas are covering that. And then all the sales. Congrats to all those kids who have worked so hard. Well, what kind of advertisements do we have going on in Yoakum?
Well, we got a lot of classifieds, and it looks like Gonzalez is back in there too. Gonzalez Healthcare.
Yeah.
They run with all our papers when they run, and they run a big ad, and we certainly appreciate that and hope that they will continue to be with us.
And if you're running for an office or a school board place. Is that what that's called? Our position, because elections are coming up. So you probably already saw some of the political ads pick up. Give us a call. We'll be happy to run it. It is one of the best ways to get all your information out there. Please remember that I know Facebook and those places are free. We are not blind to that here at the newspaper, but we also do know that we are a small town and small communities here, and a lot of people still want the hard copy of the paper and still take a lot of time to read it. And we're online, so they read our paper online. So super important to advertise in your local newspaper.
Yeah, and we cannot promote one position against another, because we are strictly, totally neutral. But you are certainly welcome to advertise in the papers and get the word out that you are running for office.
And we do thank all those who are running, because we know that you are taking a chance to help better our communities.
Look at that good-looking newspaper right there.
Murray, I am super proud. Murray has taken over the Moulton Eagle, and he's done it with vengeance.
Oh, yeah.
He's done a great job. He's worked very, very hard, and we are very happy with how it's turned out. You'll see a lot of changes, and it is looking great, including the eagle soaring on the top. So we are getting things rolling in the new year here in Moulton. And Moulton also had their livestock show. And Bailey Petrick?
Let's see. I have a hard time sometimes pronouncing those names. Petrick, I believe is what Yashik said. Yeah.
Is the grand champion winner in Moulton. So congrats to her. What a wonderful accomplishment for that young lady. And then inside is all your winners, buyers, all that information. So we worked really hard to get that in here this week and make sure that everyone knows what is going on. 5 things to know this week.
Yeah, that's a new column that our managing editor Bobby Hariska has come up with. This we're going to try to run it every week. It's just a little breakdown of the national and world news, and some of Bobby's stuff is, I believe he told me it was coming from the American Legion. So we'll try to run this as often as possible and as room dictates that we have that. But thanks Bobby for that. I think a lot of people enjoy that.
And we also have some of the same advertisers, and we appreciate you covering all 4 of our local newspapers. And remember, Luling is also an option to get that out. And then there's a long list of those buyers. And we have the Veterans Chapter refurbishing Veterans Memorial.
We need to mention this too.
All right, so Murray is telling me that there is going to be some good kettle fried chicken. I'm guessing that's why we're pointing it out more than anything. Legion. But Sons of the American Legion, right. Please support them. They will be having these chicken plates to go, $12 a plate on Sunday, January 28th. What a better way to celebrate a Sunday than to not have to cook.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I won't be eating these plates only for one reason.
Because you don't eat chicken.
On the bone.
You don't eat chicken on the bone. I've never understood that. But
I'm sure it's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, is there a reason why you don't eat chicken on the bone?
Well, Ani asked me the other day if it was a traumatic experience. Not that I remember, but I will say this. So when you're a little kid, they're like, here, have a chicken drumstick.
Well, yeah.
And there's this little vein, nasty piece that hangs just on the side. So you take that bite of chicken, you're like, this is good. And then that vein pops out at you, and you start gagging, and it's all
you don't
over.
have to look at the vein. Go ahead and eat the darn chicken. I mean,
oh, no.
It's delicious.
And then, have you ever crunched down on a bone? It just makes you gag, and it's awful.
Well, I'll tell you.
And you could choke.
I'll tell you a little something worse than that. Now, I'm not going to mention the name of the product because maybe they'll start advertising with us at some point. But it was a can of chili, and I put it in the bowl and was getting it prepared to eat. and inside that can of chili was a big old cow tooth.
Oh my God.
I didn't eat the chili, and I've never bought that kind of chili anymore. But like I said, they might become a big advertiser of the podcast. So if they do, then I'll just dump the can out and filter out the big cow teeth and eat it anyway. Okay, go ahead on.
I don't know that I can. That's really awful. I can't. And so that is the end of the molten eagle. The molten eagle. It's not molten eagle. It's the molten eagle.
And you gotta look at that little eagle that I put on top of the header.
It's super cute.
He's flying in to get the news. He's flying in to get the news, and with the combination of Clayton Kelly and our managing editor Bobby Huriska, you're going to get the news. So anyway, where are we going now?
We're going to Luling. Take a little drive.
Hello, Nicole, and all the folks at the Luling Newsboy and Signal. And welcome to the local lowdown.
All right, and it says eye on the prize, and that's because those kids have the eye on the prize this week as they get to compete in their local stock show. There's, of course, they have advertisers just as well, and if one of those advertisers wants to sponsor our podcast, we're going to be able to get you that information very, very soon. Bobby Horechka has added a looking ahead, and that gives you all the local things that are going to be going on. It's kind of like a weekly calendar.
Well, what about Nicole's National Hug Day?
I mean, what's better than giving someone a hug? I give hugs all the time here. I actually do not like hugs. Like, I don't like someone to come up and hug me.
Then why do you come up and hug other people?
Because I think y'all need the hugs. Because sometimes there's a lot of anger in the newspaper office.
Especially on Tuesdays.
And if you ever gave Henry Joe Yashuk a hug, you would know why. It's the most amazing thing ever.
Well, you don't have to worry about that now. I have patted him on the gut.
Yeah.
But give him a hug, no. I'm not doing that.
Well, I love my Henry hugs on Monday because I haven't seen him in a long time. And then I make my rounds. Ani told me when I said, do you think it's safe for me to come back to work? Because I didn't want to get anyone sick. And she said, yeah, just don't go hug everyone. Yeah. What? Well, what kind of advice is that?
It's like we told Nicole this morning in that Zoomcast or whatever you call that thing. The average age of the people in our editorial department, I don't know, it's probably around, 80?
80, yeah. Maybe that's a good guess.
We've got one that's 86 or 85. I don't know, he lies about his age so much, it's hard to nail it down.
I think it's 86.
But we've got 2 in the 80s, I think 2 in the 70s, so... you can't get close to us when you're sick because the whole editorial department might get wiped out.
Could happen. So I didn't. I refrained from hugging till about yesterday.
All right.
I haven't hugged Murray yet today.
No, that's not going to happen today.
Not today.
What else you got in there from Nicole? Nicole's Luling Eagle and
we send a lot of love. We didn't talk much about Martin Luther King Day was on Monday. Some people had a holiday, not us. We were freezing. But there's probably never a better day than to take pause and remember what this man did, what he taught us, and what he's still teaching us today if you really listen to his words. So,
one of his quotes, and I can't remember it precisely, but it's the one where he's talking about his hoping that his little children could grow up with little white children and that they wouldn't see color, that only like the love would be exchanged between them. And I've always been of the thought too that children are not born into racism. They have to be taught that. When they're born, they're innocent and they're colorblind. And that's something that has to be taught to them by an evil society And Martin Luther King was right on the button about that.
Yeah, and it's really important to understand that colorblind doesn't mean necessarily that you don't see. I mean, obviously, you see if someone has a different color skin than you, but you don't judge them by that color.
No.
There is not a definition of who you are by the color of your skin or the color of your hair or the color of your eyes or anything like that. Now, I will say, my daughter is mixed, and I think it's very funny because there's all these TikToks. Do you watch TikToks, Murray?
No, I'm not too much on that.
Well, it's like, I'm mixed, and because I'm mixed, this is what happens. And this morning when I was dropping her off at school, this girl opened the car door and said, "Is that your mom?" And I wanted to say, because I have a mixed daughter, people say, "Is that your mom?" Because they're not always sure. But the good thing about that, Murray, is that some days when I don't want to claim my child, I don't have to.
Hey, I hadn't thought about that.
So, like, there's always positives to everything. So when I want to claim her and say, "Oh, she's the most amazing kid in the world," I do. And then when I don't, I say, "No, she's adopted."
Well, while you were talking about that, I was trying to recall that quote from Martin Luther King that I always loved so much. And what he said was, "Never judge people by the color of their skin, but only by the content of their character."
And that is a good one, for sure.
It's a great one because you look at them as how they act and how they treat people. You know, I like to tell the story about my papa, my grandfather. He worked for the city of Austin for years. He passed away in 1955. Back in those days, the city of Austin ran the utilities. They ran their own gas company and what have you. And my papa, he worked for the gas company or the gas division. And he used to like to say, "I've been under every house in Austin, Texas." Well, Papa, that might have been in 1955, but you sure wouldn't have been now. But the point I'm trying to make is he was so well loved in the community at that time that when he passed away, there were more black folks at his funeral than there were white people. So that was my papa and how he treated people. He didn't see color, and he only saw content of character. And I didn't mean to inject those personal things, but I think at this point in our society, people need to realize that and quit letting others divide you by color. And I'm done saying that.
And that's a great way to end. And me and Murray are going to be more personal in these podcasts. And if you don't like what we say, you can always write in as soon as we get an email, because we're going to get one of those really soon. And you can tell us why you disagree, and we'll be very understanding of why you disagree with us, because it's okay to have a different opinion.
We'll tolerate everything but racism. We won't tolerate that.
Yeah, I'm not real good on that one.
We won't tolerate that.
There's no place for that.
But anyway, speaking of that, we are getting an email address, and I should have already done that, but we want you to write in, and like Michelle said, tell us what you like and what you don't like. Hopefully you don't get ugly about it, because we'll delete those comments. but anyway,
we still have ultimate control.
Yeah, and we want you to suggest, maybe let us know if there are people in your community or around the county that you would like for us to talk about. Maybe you've got a neighbor on a farm somewhere that does something that would be unique that other people would like to know about. Because I'll tell you what, if the stories are good enough, not only will they wind up on this podcast, they'll probably wind up in the newspaper. So keep that in mind. And before we get on to other things, I don't want to forget this. I've been doing a lot of promotion since we changed the name to Local Lowdown. And I've been doing a lot to promote this podcast. And I want you to know that it's on a lot of mobile platforms, music platforms, podcast platforms. And as of this date, the local lowdown is on Spotify, Amazon Audible, iHeart, Castbox, and several more. So, reason I'm saying that is at some point in time, we may be offering you an opportunity to sponsor this podcast, and you can count on it that the word will get out, not only locally any longer, but because of these platforms. And when I look at the stats now, I'm even seeing things from overseas. We even have people in Australia, India, and all around listening. And last week I mentioned that I was making this podcast right down the road from Shiner Brewery. Now let me tell you folks, people around the world know about Shiner beer, and they know about cowboys, and they just seem like they cling to that. And I know someone personally that knows a lot about Shiner Brewery. Wonder who that might be.
I don't know. I think it's me. I'm starting to realize that all my careers are based off of talking. And I knew that one day my talking would get me somewhere.
Yeah.
But yes, I do. I work at the brewery as a tour guide, so I do have quite a bit of knowledge on Shiner. Of course, I love Shiner. It's where I grew up. The brewery has just kind of always been in my backyard, I kind of feel like. And I don't know that I ever realized how special it was, maybe until the last 5 to 10 years of understanding what not only they do for the community of Shiner, but for all over. And that's not just giving everyone great beer to drink to end their day, but all that they give back, especially to our military and different organizations, from scholarships to all of that stuff. So they're great. I can tell you that I'll be talking more about them and more about their beers and what's new. The newest is the non-alcoholic beer.
Well, not only do they have those great beer products, but aren't they fixing barbecue over there
We're
too?
We're fixing barbecue there. And I had promised Murray I would get him some, and then I got sick with the death, the flu. So I still owe him that barbecue, but I am going to get that. Tommy Schutte and David Schrader do an amazing job of cooking up barbecue. Tommy used to own Shiner Barbecue Company downtown. David Schrader, he's an RN by trade, but if you've ever had the opportunity to eat any of his cooking, you would have not been disappointed. And now he's doing it full time at the brewery. So we're thankful to have them. And then we also have the distillery that has different liquors. So it's a good day.
Yeah, they're just doing everything. I was going to ask you too, doesn't Makers, do they advertise over there with us, or do you know?
They do. I think it's every 2 weeks they have a sale, and it's put in the Shiner paper. And they do have some amazing sausage. Yes,
they do. They put out some great products over there. Well, what else you got? Anything?
Else? I do. I have a riddle.
Okay.
Because I like to be funny. Okay, do you think you can get this one, Murray? I hope so. Why is Santa so good at karate?
Let me think about that. Santa, karate, black belt. Was that
it? It is, because he wears a black belt.
Holy moly.
And I wanted to point out that sometimes people are like, what do you have in your local communities for kids to do and for different things, because you're so small? I get that from my big town friends. But the truth is, we have a lot here. And karate and jiu-jitsu classes are offered, I know, in Shiner at the studio, which is located in the old Gazette office. And those karate and jiu-jitsu is a great way to teach discipline. So if you are another place that may offer that, I know they're not as local to us, but there is a place in Schulenburg that also offers it, in Flatonia. But if you know of another place, let us know. Tell us you want to advertise with us, and we'll get your name out there too. But be like Santa.
Wasn't you saying something about discipline?
Discipline, yes. It offers.
Does that come from taking karate?
Yes. That's why I'm so disciplined. No, I never took karate.
I wish they had a horn out here. I'd blow it right now. But, my two of my grandsons, when they were little bitty fellas, they took that karate. They didn't miss any classes. They loved it. So
It's awesome.
that's something to look into.
That's right.
Well,
Guess what we're going to do next week, Murray?
what?
We're going to eat Girl Scout cookies.
Hey,
So it's Girl Scout cookie season. My daughter is in the Girl Scout troop in Shiner. And so I have them now on hand. And it began in 1917, so that's an awful long time ago.
yep.
And it has definitely emerged some. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring a box of the 8 different flavors. So that's 8
right.
boxes. And we're all going to eat them and decide which ones are our favorites. And then we're going to tell you about it. But I will let you know that the 8 flavors are Thin Mints, Caramel Delights, Adventurefuls, Shortbread, Lemonades, Peanut Butter Sandwich, Peanut Butter Patties, and Toastiers.
What did you say about that caramel?
Caramel Delights.
That's my favorite.
Well, you haven't tried the other one.
No, well, I had a couple of daughters in the Girl Scouts
Really?
a long time ago.
It also teaches great discipline.
The thing about it is now, when you bring these samples,
Yeah.
would you be sure that everybody in the office gets a sample before Henry Joe Yashik gets hold of them?
All right, I can do
Because
it.
he'll wipe them all out.
He's excited, I think. He's ready. Well,
He's
we're
ready.
going to see if Caramel Delights stay Murray's favorite
All
after he
right.
tries them all.
All right.
There is also a gluten-free one. I don't have those, but you can order those online.
No, we
So,
don't need those diet cookies around this place.
Yes.
Anyway, what else have you got?
What else? I have a question.
Okay.
I think that's probably on my list. What is one regret you have right now?
One.
Just one.
One.
In 81 years, what is your one regret?
Don't shower when it's 18 degrees outside.
That is his one regret.
Oh,
It took him 80 plus years to get to that
I have
one.
many more, but they're not something I'd want to share.
Well, my biggest regret and my biggest lesson in life is to not waste time. And I learned this more when you're sick and you can't do anything and you're like sitting there on days and you're like, oh, I wish I could just lay down and do nothing. But when you actually can, it's awful to lay down and do nothing. So time is a gift. It's also a thief. It goes really fast and steals that away from you. So please take each day as a gift and use that time wisely.
Did you ever think about being punctual and being on time more?
Well, so time is also my enemy. I'm not very good at it. I mean, I can tell time.
No horn on that one.
Today we had a meeting at 8:15 and I was here at 8:16. But I did bring food.
Yeah, well, we can forgive you then.
And I wasn't the last person to arrive for our meeting. So all in all, I'm considering it a win.
Well, I'm considering wrapping this thing up because
We've talked too long.
we've talked too long. So
Never.
I'm going to say my goodbyes first.
Go for it.
And
Why do you
it-
get to go first?
Well,
Okay.
because I'm the founder of this
Okay.
podcast. All right.
Founded in 1887.
Yeah, well, I founded it, and then Hans come along. I was doing it privately on one of my groups, and Hans come along, one of our ex-reporters, and he said, we ought to start doing that at the newspaper. So here we are. So anyway, before I go, friends, I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you'll share it, and I hope that you'll continue to listen, and I hope you'll continue to advertise with our newspapers because I like getting a paycheck. But anyway, I hope you stay warm. I hope this don't happen again where it gets so cold. There will be no farting on this podcast. And with that being said, thank you so much, friends, for listening to the local lowdown. And I'll be seeing you next week. Okay, Shep.
Well, I thought he was going to forget about me because, I mean, he just talked for like 10 minutes goodbye. But mine's going to be a little bit shorter. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and that no one else gets the flu or any kind of sicknesses, that we're all healthy, happy in this new year, because we're already 3 weeks in. Can you believe that?
No.
But thank you so much for listening to our new podcast. It's only going to get better, guys. We're going to work really hard at it. We have a great time talking to each other, not only about news, but about everything else, including farts. So
there you go.
Tune in. Have a great weekend, guys.
Goodbye, everybody.